Fellow Brick fans, DJ Bricks here, back for another review, and today I have a look at the smallest of the Lego Spidey and His Amazing Friends wave we got back in January. It is the Spider-Man's Techno Trike. Comes with about 59 pieces. Is recommended for building ages 4+. It is one of those sets. It is set number 10781, and it retails here in America for about $10 US. We get a Trike build, we get two figures, Goblin and the Miles Morales version of Spider-Man. But without further ado, let's start deconstructing the set and seeing how it stacks up, starting as always with the minifigures. Look at the first figure here, Miles Morales version of Spider-Man. We did previously take a look at him. He does come in that bigger set, but for an accessory, he does come with that new web piece that was introduced for this line in a red color. Again, that's in the bigger set only, as well as this, but is very nicely molded. You can clip them together to trap a figure if you want, attach something to the stud of that if you want as well. For the design wise, looks very nice. You got the mid legs down there in a red color, which is pretty nice. Torso is nice and simplified and cartoony to go with the style of the sets. Same with the back of the torso and the head printed as well. That is very nicely done, especially the white printed on the black there. It's got some shading in there to really make sure that that white just pops. So it looks really, really, really good. So, Goblin here, again, we took a look at him in the bigger set, but quick rundown. For an accessory, he does come with a pumpkin bomb. This one is different. It comes with the ice cream piece there at the top to, I assume, represent some of the bubbling smokiness that comes off the pumpkin bombs. So that is a pretty nice little detail. And for the torso print here, removing that pumpkin bomb to get a better look at it. It's very nicely done. It's very, again, cartoony and simplified. Some nice shading detail to accentuate the armor. He's got the mid legs in purple that is shared with one other figure in this wave. Back of the torso is pretty nice and nicely detailed, but very simple again. Does come with the same Goblin headdress that he's been sporting, and then he does come with a dual-sided face where it's very kid friendly and very cartoony, so none of that maniacal goblin-ness there. And then on the back, he's got like a shocked kind of crying face that he's been beaten, and there's what that head looks like highlighted by the headdress there. And that headdress is always dual molded with that nice lime green and purple, which is a very nice color to have the goblin in. So looking at what you build up in the set, you don't get much, but you do get Miles' Techno Trike here. And then you get a version of the Goblin glider for Green Goblin there. Build-wise, it's pretty simple. It's a 4+ set, so nothing really too outstanding here. It's just a nice assortment of parts. So let's get into each of these builds. We're going to start off with the smaller of the two. You got a nice design for the Goblin glider here, a nice range of purple and gray here. You got a nice part usage here for the kind of bird-like design that the Goblin gliders often have. A little bit of lime green there showing, and that is the spot where you can attach Goblin to the glider. He just you just stand him on the studs there and he fits fine, and it looks really good. You do have a couple of flaps on either side for the end of the wings, and you can angle those up however you want to play and display this thing, so that is pretty nice. And then at the back here, you do have some ugly colors showing, but that is kind of fine. That clip there, that's actually the recurrent play feature for these sets, where you can take the web piece that Spider-Man is given, and you clip onto that, and you can and you're supposed to be able to have trap the goblin like that or something. Not quite effective, but it does get the job done. So if he's not on it, you can even trap it a little bit more, probably prevent him from fleeing, but there you go. Looking at Miles' Techno Trike, very big, very chunky. You got some nice wheels here, rolls pretty nicely. Overall design, pretty accurate to the source material here. The tires are a different color. I think that's just because Lego has parts locked to certain colors here, and this wheel back here is kind of inaccurate. They just use the basic chassis piece, but that's fine. They may have been looking at concept art or something. But the wheels can also just flip up, and this can fly. Got a nice printed part at the front. Again, as always, no printed parts in Junior 4+ or Junior sets. A little bit of dark blue showing there. Nice part usage there. These are also a casualty of the concept art, I think. These are supposed to be turbines for the Techno part of the jet here, but they just look like random stuff just slapped on, so that's kind of unfortunate. And then, as you can see, just by how they're attached, they are kind of loosey-goosey there, so they kind of just want to wobble around as you're being rough with it. So nothing really falls off here, especially this flame piece that is pretty well attached, so no worrying about things falling off when with really rough play there. You got a handlebar there for piloting it. You got some nice of the mud flaps there. And then Miles, just good thing about these legs, you can actually get him in at a sitting pose, and he fits just fine. And kind of have to take the web piece away from him, but he fits fine. You can get him gripping the handlebars. It looks very nice, but this thing is very playable. I just wish it had something to shoot or something, but that's just me. But for extra parts, we get this one lone Technic piece in yellow. That's it. That's the only extra part. At the instruction manual, pretty straightforward. Small booklet here with the QR code, the older style of instructions with a box art on the front instead of that newer, crappier style. You got the building aid pages at the instructions at the front. You got that weird, stupid use your hands to show kids what parts to grab. I get that. That's what it's supposed to do. It's just a massive waste of paper considering you have to do it for every step. Miles down there sporting the progress bar for the build. At the back, you get 69 pages of building, parts inventory, and then you get the generic minifigure on the back for the win. So looking at the box, that's the typical $10 to $15 size. You got that general aesthetic that we've seen for this line throughout the set reviews. You got the Spidey and his amazing friend logo up at the corner, Disney Junior, as well as product shots of the actual characters from the show. That cool aesthetic of the different brick comic panels of figures, 4+ at the corner, letting you know that it's a 4+ aimed set. You get Miles down there, sporting the actual size reference of the parts within the set. Side of the box, you just have a Lego 5 version of that product image from the front. And then back of the box, you just have a showing of all that you get in the set. Little play feature showing that you can attach the web to the glider, and how quick and easy it is to put the build together. And into my final thoughts for the set, build wise, does keep in with that 4+ aesthetic, being relatively simple to build. It does have a nice range of play features integrated. It's just where all of it falls down is a little bit is with the namesake of the set, the Techno Trike. One, it's not accurate to the actual in-universe model of the show, the Techno Trike in the show, or the other toys based off it, but that is either because Lego bases off concept art that they were looking at, or limitation of parts, and it does get the overall look and general aesthetic of the Techno Trike. It's just not as fully as accurate as it could have been, but it is very nicely designed. But even at the back there with what is supposed to be the engine pods of the set for the jet, they're fairly nondescript. They just look like they were just tacked on there. They don't look like they're supposed to be part of it in the actual model compared to everything else. So maybe that'll help with kids' imaginations. But the other thing with it, I showed in the look through the build, those are very loosely attached. They like jangle all over the place, but as I'm seeing on the box right now, they show it as angled up, and you can't really get that angled up a little bit unless you're actually physically holding it and holding it in place. So a little false advertising there. So minifigure wise, you get Miles and the Goblin. Both those figures are currently only found in the big set, the web quarters. So this is a nice cheaper alternative to get both of those very core Spider-Man characters in their little how they look for this general aesthetic of the Spidey show. Quality, and I had to take a dip here because I just noticed that little bit of false advertising there on the box. So that would be the only issue I really had with the set, because they actually learned their lesson with the Miles figures of just printing shading behind the eyes just to make them look whiter, and I was surprised at both the figure and the print on the Trike actually both kind of resonate with that. And then for the price here of $10, even with this inflated market, $10 is pretty darn worth it. You get a nice substantial build for Miles there. You get a Goblin glider. Can't go wrong with that. Again, two semi-exclusive figures that you can get a cheaper way. Overall, this set is very worth $10. You get $10 worth of stuff here, with build, with figures, with everything. So all in all, set's gonna have to get a 9 out of 10 from me. Again, I highly recommend it if you want that Miles figure, but you can't afford the bigger set. So this would be a nice way to get that. Get one of Spidey's most iconic nemesis there with Goblin. Can't go wrong there either. But that does it for my thoughts on this set. Comment below. Let me know what yours are. Always look forward to having a discussion with you guys. And don't forget to like, subscribe, ring the bell so you're actually notified of when I upload new videos, because YouTube and its algorithm kind of suck at that. And I will see you in the next video. Until next time, stack on.